Welcome to Talkin Tobacco. I am your host, Bill, and on today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing St. James Flake, a delicious Virginia Perique blend by Samuel Gawith. Then I'm going to be doing a recap of my summer blends. Since it's been a while since I last did an episode, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on what I smoked this summer, and then that leads me into what I think my top blends are going to be for the fall. And then I am going to wrap it up with a brick and mortar story. I have another brick and mortar story just like the last one, where I walked in and grabbed some special tins that you can't find online, or you couldn't at the time. Some are back. I'll put in the show notes, I'll put links to timestamps to if you want to jump around a little bit. But anyway, let's get started. Sam Gawith's St. James Flake. I first bought this tin back in February. This was one I think I bought strictly by accident. I was out at an office meeting outside the city and walked into a B&M, and they had it, and I freaked out. I bought a tin. I told the shop owner that I was going to run home, smoke it, and if I loved it, I was going to come back and buy a shit ton more, because he probably had like 10 tins there. Well, I went home, popped open the tin, and, quintessential Sam Gawith, it was soaking wet, so I couldn't even smoke it right then. I had to let it dry, so I let it sit in the tin. I actually took out a couple flakes and, tried to rub them out, which is almost impossible. If you ever had Sam Gawith's wet flakes, trying to rub them out is like trying to break apart wet beef jerky or something. So I had to let them dry out. A couple hours goes by maybe, and I just said, screw it. I just got to try it. I think I wind up cube cutting it because I still couldn't break it up. So I just take scissors to the bottom and cut them really, as skinny strips as I could. Filled up my bowl, grabbed myself a cup of coffee, went into my back room where I had, do my alone time, my man stuff. And, battled lighting this tobacco. It was brutal. Couldn't get it lit. You get a couple good puffs in and it keeps going out. Anyway, it was a disaster, so I couldn't tell anything by that first attempt at smoking this tobacco. So I let it just sit in the tin for a few days. Came back to it. Same thing, tried it again, still wet. But I was able to progress a little bit further. Actually, probably smoked half a bowl. Just taking it in, trying it out, seeing how it was going. Put it down. Came back to it a couple days later. Same thing, cube cut some flakes, tried it again. And I didn't really think much of the blend at the time. I remember thinking, it kind of reminds me of full Virginia Flake, which I do love. That's probably the most tobacco I have of one blend. Scratch that. I have 2 pounds of Newminster Superior Navy Flake. But besides that, it's probably the most of any one blend I've had. So, I didn't think too much of it, but I just thought it was maybe like full Virginia Flake with some Perique. Kept trying it over the course of probably the next few weeks, and then kind of forgot about it. And it's been sitting in this tin since February, and just recently went back to it, and I said, oh man, I forgot all about St. James Flake. It's been sitting in an open tin. I mean, the lid was on, but it's, it's not like vacuum sealed anymore, although these tins aren't vacuum sealed anymore. And I opened it up and I'm like, oh my God, it's still damp. So I would like for the next like week, I would just like every day open it up and like rotate the tobacco, close it up, just trying to slowly dry it out. And just recently, now we're in October, I did the same thing. I cube cut a couple flakes, filled up my bowl, got it lit. It took a few relights, but I got it lit. And man, oh man, it was such a good smoke. It was so pleasant. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, holy crap, I got to go back to that B&M and see if they got any St. James Flake. So let me get into the details of what I think about St. James Flake. First of all, the tin note. It probably smells a little bit different at first because it's maybe, I don't remember what it was like, but it was because it was so damp and I was so angry with it. I don't remember what the tin note was then, but right now I have the tin right here. I just popped it again and stuck my schnoz in there for a big whiff. And it smells like hay, but kind of like a musty barnyard hay. Like a fermented hay. Maybe some hay that's been there, aging for a while. Really pleasant. Let me get out my notes here. Okay, so it's definitely smooth. It's a smooth blend. It's not overly spicy at all. It's probably a light the light portions of Perique are in it. Sorry if you hear my dog snoring over here. I got two pit bulls laying on my lap while I'm trying to do this recording. So the body is on the lighter side, but it's not a light smoke. It's a full smoke. So the body on it is. It's a smoky blend. It feels like it's full flavor, but it's not full strength. It's definitely like light to medium, maybe just getting to the medium mark. So in other words, like when you smoke something with Dark Fire Kentucky and it's, or a really strong like C&D Burley or something, you're going to feel like, wow, like that nick hit, that punch, that, punch your tongue in the face type of feel. It's not that at all. It still has light flavors or light body, but full flavors is what I'm trying to say. So in my opinion, that's like, to me, that's the perfect combo. I love like a full flavor, full mouthfeel without it, like, just trying to, knock me on my ass with like nicotine or like, some cigar blend or some powerhouse blend. So to me, it's like that. It's like that perfect combination. Some of the flavors I get with it, or I get like a pastry sweetness, which is weird because when you look at the flake itself, it's a darker flake. And when you read the description, it talks about being bright Virginia. I really thought this was going to be red Virginia, but it's, it says that it's bright Virginia and that they must stove it to get this like dark color, almost like full Virginia flake. So it's a dark looking flake, but it's bright Virginia. So, to take a bright Virginia, stove it, and get it this color, add some Perique to it. It's pretty interesting, and I like it a lot, actually. I get a little bit of cocoa in the background. There's woody flavors. It's a little grassy, but more like hay-like, more fermented hay, so that tin note smell transfers into that flavor. And there is a unique, when you're sitting there slowly sipping this one, there is a unique combination of like fermented hay with a touch of sweetness. Obviously not artificial at all, but it has the feel and the taste of something that's 10 years old. And I don't think I'm exaggerating in that. It tastes like this tobacco has been aged. And this tin, like I said, I got this in February, and it's not much older than that. So I will be buying more of this. And this is definitely going to be probably in my fall blend rotation. So with like my summer blends will be more bright Virginias that are light in color, light browns like Orlick Golden Sliced. But this is going to be part of my fall blend rotation for sure. So it's brutal that it's so hard to get. I don't think I've ever seen it available on smoking pipes. But the B&M I went to had it, and I was just back in there. I have a B&M story coming up later, and they had it in there still. So I'm going to go get more and just put it away. I can't believe how much I enjoy this. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, that's my take on St. James Flake. This might not shock you. I mean, there's plenty of reviews out there that talk really well about St. James Flake. So, but anyway, my take on it, and right now it's in my top. This is probably, it's hard to say. I'm so all over the place, but it's got to be it's definitely in my top 10. Is it in my top 5? It could be. It could be. But anyway, that's been my take on St. James Flake. So now that it is mid-October, we're starting to finally get some cooler weather. I'm starting to shift my tobaccos now to my fall blends. I like to rotate out my summer stuff. It's just the way I like to do it. I know a lot of guys like to smoke the same stuff all year round, but I like to take all my bright Virginias, kind of put them away and take out some darker stuff. So this fall, I was looking at my list, what I think I'm going to be smoking this fall. It always can shift at any moment, but for the most part, I got 5 blends that I think I'm going to be smoking the most this fall. Other blends always weave in and out too. These definitely won't be the only ones, but there's a couple older tins here I'm trying to finish also, just to get them out, because everything's in ball jars. I have so much tobacco open that I'm always trying to go back and revisit those ones that I've had open. I want to finish them before, because I have all these other new tins that I got that I want to open, and I don't. It's just never going to end. I'm just going to have ball jars all over the place, and I don't know. My OCD, it definitely kills my OCD. So I'm trying to knock out some blends just to make some room for some new stuff. But before I get into my fall blends, I'll do a quick recap on what I smoked this summer. The most. There's obviously been other blends, but the most, these are the top 5 blends I smoked this summer in no particular order. We'll start with GLP's is Telegraph Hill, which is a Virginia Perique, mostly bright Virginia. That's a ribbon cut. So I would tend to smoke that in some bigger pipes. Anytime I got a ribbon, I'll get a deeper bowl for it. But Telegraph Hill was number 5. The rest are Stokeby just about. So I had Peter Stokeby Luxury Navy Flake, a Virginia Perique with, I guess, a rum topping, but you can't really tell there's a rum topping there, but that is a delicious flake, and that's a bulk blend. These are all bulk blends, actually, so the price is right. Luxury Navy Flake, Peter Stokeby's Bullseye Flake, which I did an episode on. I still love that flake. It's fantastic. And here's a kind of a sleeper one I don't hear too much about. It's a Stokeby, but it's Eric Stokeby, and it's Evening Flake. And if you like Virginia Perique and you haven't had Evening Flake, you gotta try it. It's not like gonna blow your mind, but in my opinion, this is my favorite go-to basic Virginia Perique. When you really want a nice Virginia Perique with nothing else, no frills, this is always my baseline. Because sometimes I'll, like now, like in the fall, I'm getting into more reds, more darker Virginia Periques, or there'll be Virginia Periques with Oriental or something else, or Burley, you know. Anytime you want to just kind of reset and say, I just want to remember what's just a nice, straight Virginia Perique is again. It's kind of like a palate reset. But it's good. It's got like little hints of caramel or something in it. I mean, but not, you have to dig for it. It's not on top. So it's not, anything super sweet or anything. But I'm going to do an episode on that one. And that's a bulk blend. And that's a beautiful, like, square flake. Their flakes are so great. I guess these are kind of, I guess, considered Danish Virginias. And they're so good. I just like them all. And then last but not least, Orlik Golden Slice. I mean, you can't have a summer without Orlik Golden Slice. I actually finished a tin, so I got that jar out of the way recently. So, okay. So getting into my fall blends, here is what the plan is to smoke this fall. And I've kind of already started since we're in mid-October. I've already cracked into a few of these again. I had all of these already opened in the past, and they're jarred, just like I mentioned. These are not new tins, but these are ones I want to get into, and a couple I just want to finish. They're kind of near the bottom. But let's say number 5, and I've had this open for a while because I keep just occasionally dipping into it, is Rattray's Howl the Wind. That is like a broken flake. It's a Virginia, Perique, and Burley. And I think that Burley is dark fired. This is a savory blend. It's not sweet. I talked about this in another episode where I was smoking back to back like this and Robert McConnell's Scottish Flake, which is the same components, but there's such a sweetness to that Scottish Flake, and the Howl the Wine was more grainy and oaty. So it just depended on my mood. Was I in the mood for something savory or sweet? I would just like grab one or the other. I did like a month of that where it was just those two, and I was going back and forth. But then I put Howl the Wine away for like July and August. It just felt like it was too hot for that. But that got broken back out recently. The same James Flake, I obviously did the review on that. I've been smoking that a lot. I opened that back in February, didn't think much of it. And I was like, it's kind of boring, but it was soaking wet at the time. But that's fantastic, as you heard from my review. So that's going to be in the rotation. Another Rattray's blend, which is Marlin Flake. And Marlin Flake, if you ever seen it, it looks like jet black. And it's a big, long flake, almost like if you ever got the 100-gram tins of Orlik Golden Slice. They're really long. It's a really long flake that you got to kind of cut and then break up. And that's a Virginia, Perique, and Black Cavendish, and it's obviously pressed into a flake. And I don't know it's a flue-cured Virginia, and then I guess they press that Cavendish in it, and it comes out pretty dark. And this is from smokingpipes.com. It says a companion to Old Gallery containing flue-cured Virginias, a shade darker, greater strength, different aroma, but otherwise a tobacco in the same tradition. And that's another tobacco I have, but I haven't opened yet, is Old Gallery. But this is not like a powerhouse Virginia Perique, but I'm assuming there's more of like reds in it. And I got to get back to it. I opened it, tried it a couple times, and it was just kind of almost like St. James Flake, where I was like, it's okay. I put it away, but I'm looking to get back into that this fall. And Carolina Red Flake 2022. I've been smoking that a little bit, and it is really good. I just did a post on Instagram about it. I was smoking it this morning, actually. And it's weird because that one doesn't have Perique. That year didn't have Perique, but it's still spicy. But the smell, the tin aroma on that Carolina Red Flake, it's so good. It's so unique. There's some kind of like mustiness to it. I can't figure out what it is yet. But when you look at those flakes, it almost looks like beef jerky. It's kind of weird. But it's really good. And it's strong enough to smoke in the fall in the cooler weather, even without having perique, which I found pretty interesting, because I was always assuming that I was going to have needed perique or like some more burley, which there's plenty of that in my list. But yeah, I was just surprised on how dark and rich that smoked when it's just Virginia. I actually just recently watched a video. I went back and did a search on it, and Carolina Red Flake from 2022. And Jeremy Reeves, the head blender of Cornell and Deal, had like a 3-minute video out there. And he said that this blend contains, I guess this is the grade of the actual type of Virginia it is. He says it's TA20. I have no idea what TA20 is. I guess that's just the number on the pallet that he received for those Virginias. But if you know what it is, you know. And he said these are TA20 grade tips from the year 2020. And he said it's the same Virginia that was in Cornell and Deal's anthology. So if you got that, I know that was a big hit. That's what I'm smoking. It's just a straight version of those Virginias. And it's really good. I'm not sure why I'm telling you about it, because you can't get it most likely, but this is just what I'm smoking this fall. And actually the last two are discontinued that I'm smoking too. I'm trying to finish up my HH Burley Flake, which I really, really liked last year when I first got it. It might have been 2 years ago. And I was all into it, and I smoked it exclusively for the longest time. But I still just have a few flakes left in a jar, and I want to finish that up. And it's a shame, because it's a great burley flake that I guess it's not even on smoking pipes anymore. And I did some searches for it, and I can't even find it. You probably have to go to a brick and mortar to see if you can get it. But just a really, really nice burley flake. And the other one is, I guess it's the last one too. It's the Cobblestone Outdoor Hiking, which is also a burley flake, but that's a darker burley flake. That flake itself is more on the black than brown side, which is another one I'm trying to finish up. And people went crazy for that Cobblestone Outdoor Hiking. They were going crazy for it. I know it sold out right away. Then like Smoking Pipes kept putting it back. And I was watching any review you've seen on it on YouTube were rave reviews for it. And I said, well, I got to get it, because I was into the HH Burley Flake. And I like burleys this time of year. So I got it. And I just remember it being like a little bit more of a powerhouse. And I was like, I don't know. This really isn't for me. So I kept it in a jar. And that one is... There's some sweet burleys, but then there's some dark fired. And I bet you that the dark fired, to me, is just standing out more in that blend. And I was using it as a mix in some other blends. Like I would take like a half a flake and then break it up into some red Virginia or a lighter burley and like mix them a little bit, because on its own, I didn't remember loving it. But I'm going to get back to smoking it, trying to finish it this fall, and smoking it by itself to see what I think and see how it's aged. It's probably like, I don't even remember when it came out, but it's at least got 1.5 years on it or something, maybe 2 years on it. So, and then other blends will be weaving in and out, like I said, and I'll probably get that Robert McConnell Scottish Flake again. There's a blend I really want to get my hands on. I got to go to this B&M that I've been telling you about, because I've been scoring tins that are not on the market. And actually, that's coming up next. I got a B&M story that's coming up. I'll tell you about some tins I scored. But there's this tin. I wonder if it's going to come out this Christmas again. But Cornell and Deal did a combo marketing package with Peterson, where if you bought a Peterson pipe, you can get a free tin of tobacco. And they had these limited edition release tobaccos. I know one was like a lot of Kia blend, but the one I got was a Virginia Perique and Black Cavendish, and it was called, I think it was called Cornell and Deal's Wintertime. They were all called Cornell and Deal's Wintertime Reserve, and then whatever the name of that blend was. And the one I got was Evergreen, and it must have been Red Virginia, Perique, and Black Cavendish, and it was so good. I'm not buying a pipe for it, I got to be honest with you, and I don't need a Peterson pipe right now. But I got to go to my B&M and see if I could score that. And I don't know why, and I'm sure it's just the marketing, but it tasted great around the holidays. So, it's probably because it's called Wintertime Reserve, and that's probably messing with my mind grapes. But it was awesome. I'm going to try to find it. I'll go to that B&M and see if they got it. Maybe Cornell and Deal will come out with it this year. Maybe I can make a trade with somebody. But anyway, that's it for my summertime blend recap and fall blend preview. Okay, I have another B&M story. It's the same brick and mortar as my last B&M story. So I was outside the city again recently, and I stopped by that B&M because I was able to score last time a couple tins, and they had a ton of stuff I've never seen before. So in person, like you see it online, but it's always gone. And this was like a kid in a candy store. You walk in and you see tins you're not used to seeing. So the last time I was there, I was able to grab the same James Flake that I can never get off of smoking pipes. And then Cornell and Deal's small batch Steamworks was still in the store. And, obviously you can get those on smoking pipes when they first come out if you buy them that day. Some of their small batches, go a few days, but a lot of them go quick. So I was able to get Steamworks. I haven't opened that one yet. That's a Virginia Perique Oriental blend. And I think those flakes are pretty moist and they're dark from what I remember in the reviews. But anyway, I was able to grab some tins, and one that really, really surprised me because I've been chasing it for a long, long time. So what I picked up was, I got the Carolina Red Flake with Perique 2025. I haven't opened that one yet. I haven't opened any of these yet, except this next one. So Carolina Red Flake with Perique 2025. I'm going to try to let that sit in the tin for a little, maybe 6 months or so before I open it. The one that I did open was their small batch line Sansa Pokro, which is a Virginia dark fired Kentucky with Black Cavendish. And what makes it a little special is the dark fire. It's Italian dark fired, which is, I'm assuming, from Sansa Pokro. And it was good. I've only had 2 bowls of it, but man, it was strong. I'm hoping it mellows out a little. I'm going to leave it jarred up for a while and see if it mellows up, because it was like a punch in the face for sure. The one of the other tins I got that you can get on smoking pipes anytime is, but I've recently saw some reviews on it, and everybody's been talking a lot about it. Like, I don't know how these blends it seems like a lot of the guys see reviews and all the guys wind up getting some of the same stuff, which is cool. And this one seemed interesting to me, which was 7Le's Brunello Flake, which is a Virginia Burley and Oriental. And the reviews on YouTube, the guys are really speaking highly of it. So I wanted to try it. I mean, you can get it on smoking pipes, but I was there and it was staring me in the face. So I grabbed it. Another tin that was on smoking pipes for a minute, but sold out super quick, but I'm looking now and it's back on, is the Per Jensen's Legacy collection that they did with Cornell and Deal. And this is the Port Guardian, which is a straight red Virginia. So I'm probably going to try that this fall, I would think. And the last one, this is the one, this was like my white whale, because since I've gotten into Virginias and Virginia Perique blends, this is the one that I've heard a lot about. I've never, ever seen it available anywhere, is Sam Gowith's Cabby Mixture. It's a Virginia Perique, and it's a coin, and it's got a 4.8 rating on smoking pipes. So I am really, really, really looking forward to trying that one. I've never seen it ever anywhere. And when I was in the brick and mortar and he had it, I had to grab it. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to that one. So I can't wait. I'll probably do a review on that one. Although I don't know if I like really doing reviews on ones you can't get. But what the hell? There's just something kind of magical about walking into a store and seeing all these tins that don't exist anywhere else. It's pretty awesome. Not trying to rub it in, but pretty friggin' awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a while since I did one of these, so I just want to do a quick, short one just to knock off some of the rust. I do want to have some guests on coming up soon. I just want to get into a rhythm with it. And once I'm able to start doing these more consistently, then I'll start asking some people to come on. So we'll have some different guests to switch things up. Check the show notes for links on how to contact me. And I'm on Instagram, Talkin Tobacco. I think it's just Talkin Tobacco. Talkin Tobacco. Is that what it is? Hang on a second. Yeah, Talkin Tobacco. All right, guys. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.